kind of don't want to make a video on the KSP because it literally plays out exactly like the Milano with challenges and stuff. But today, what I wanted to talk about was people who drive in fucking Washington, because I did such a typical Washingtonian thing today. If you guys don't know, in Washington State, it rains pretty much normal. Like, that's like normal default weather is rain. A little bit or a lot, doesn't matter. It's fucking raining. And I went outside. It was cold. It was wet. The ground was squishy with sandals on and shorts, and took the trash out. Didn't faze me, right? That's how you know you grew up in Washington, is when that doesn't faze you. But how you also know you grew up in Washington is when you know about the fucking drivers. Now, I know everyone has their pet peeves about drivers, and I actually personally believe that most drivers are actually pretty decent drivers. Like, they follow the rules the best they can. And if you randomly selected a human being who has a driver's license, who's been driving for, like, I don't know, 5 years or so, and you did like the driving test on them right now and they didn't even know it, they'd probably pass. So we're gonna exclusively focus on the bad drivers. Not only do I live in Washington, which means that when it rains, even though it rains half the fucking time in the state, people still don't know how to drive in it. They get scared. They go under the speed limit. They don't have their lights on, or they speed and slip around everywhere. They hydroplane. You know, it's the whole thing. I literally watched a semi-truck hydroplane for a little bit because he decided to get in the left lane. And where I live is a small town, so you know there's an extra amount of rules and dumbassery afoot. Now, if you live in a small town, you know that there are 2 rules of driving that are optional. One is blinkers, right? Blinkers are optional. You just change lanes, turn, whatever the fuck you want to do. And speed limits. Speed limits are optional as well, both above and below the speed limit. Now, what do I mean by speed limits? Is it just any speed limit? It depends. Many times, the passing lane, you guys know in America, the left lane you use for passing. You're actually supposed to go above the speed limit and pass people when you're in that lane. A lot of people in my town just say, fuck you, and go the damn speed limit, or go below the speed limit in that lane. Now, you wouldn't think that that's a problem, but it is. Because when there's a semi-truck on the right side, and your dumbass decides to go the speed limit or slightly above so that by the time the turn lane ends, you're the only one passing the semi-truck, you have a bunch of people, when it's time to merge, stuck at the side of the semi-truck. Not behind it, not in front of it where you're clear. The lane is turning into one lane, and what's right next to you? It's the fucking semi-truck. I can't deal with it. That pisses me off the most. And I know, because I used to be one of those drivers until I put 2 and 2 together in my brain, and I decided, you know what? No, I'm gonna be a normal driver. In Washington, there's also the this game. You guys know what the this game is? Let's say 2 people stop at a 4-way stop, right? What's the rule? The person on the right goes first. Then the person on the right decides to be a nice person and say, come this way. Then the person on the left, you know what they do? No, you're on the right, come this way. The person on the right then goes, no, motherfucker, come on. And then traffic gets backed up. In fact, one time this happened, we were going into a parking lot. I was with my girlfriend. And if you go into this parking lot, there's this little lane in the parking lot that comes, and basically it goes lane, 1 car distance, highway. And in this 1 car distance section, someone we were behind stopped to let this person in the parking lot go through. And the back of their car was sitting in the fucking highway, right? We're not just on a road, we're on the highway, the main road through town. And so my girlfriend and I have to stop in the highway. And this person is like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know. And the other person in the parking lot's confused because they're supposed to be the ones waiting, not going. And it's like, traffic jam, hello, are you stupid? There's fucking cars behind you in the damn highway. I get very livid about this topic. Now, am I perfect? No, I've actually done this many times. I'm guilty of it, 100,000%. And every time I realize that I pull it off, I think to myself, man, I'm an idiot. Now, also with the game, another time, this is, by the way, like 35 seconds after this whole incident where my girlfriend and I had to stop in the highway, is someone decided, right, we're going into Starbucks. There is one way into this Starbucks. 1 lane, 1 right lane, 1 left lane, right? They're both together. There's a hostile care package coming. Hold on, I gotta focus now. Where the fuck is the helicopter? Where is it? Get booped! Anyways, so, you know, there's one lane. You know, the 2 lanes are put together in the parking lot, which makes sense. You know, you don't want to have to put a bunch of fucking parking lot shit everywhere. And this person, I kid you not, stops in the middle of both lanes, right? So If you wanted to fit another car, either way, you have to wait for this person to go. And then she does this. When our car can't even fucking fit through the thing because she stopped in the middle of the road. That's the kind of dumbasses that live in my town. The types of, if you are classified as a DA, a dumbass, you know, maybe you have the certification of a DA, that's probably a bunch of stuff that you're gonna do. Now, most people, like I said in the beginning of this video, don't do that. Most people will not stop at unnecessary points to let other people through. Most people will... God, I'm dying. Most people will allow more than themselves to pass the semi-truck so that you're not stuck side by side with it. Most people will use their turn signal. Oh, another story that I almost forgot to tell y'all. Commuting to work. Okay, these both happened commuting to work, by the way. It's commuting to work, and I was going 5 over the speed limit on the highway, right? Which, if you guys don't know, in the United States is normal. It's really normal. I'm going 5 over. I sit there, and it's a double yellow line, okay? 1 lane each way, double yellow line. If you don't know what a double yellow line means in the United States, it means do not pass for any reason unless some sort of emergency. Basically, do not pass, okay? If someone passes on a double yellow line, something's going on. There's a car crash, there's an avalanche, right? And there's a person telling you to go back and forth, right? Like a traffic conductor. Because passing on a double yellow line is dangerous. The reason why they're there is because usually there's like a hill, so you can't see if someone's passing you. It's really busy all the time. I've seen that. There's also the ones where it's curvy, a curvy road, and there's trees everywhere, so you can't see anything when you pass. And basically, you don't have enough time to react to what's going on if you decide to pass somebody. I'm going 5 over the speed limit. And this guy, also at night, by the way, and this guy behind me rides up, practically touches the back of my car, then speeds up. It looked like 10 miles faster than me. So he's going 15 over and passes me and continues maintaining that speed all the way down the road. That is something that happens in this state. The other time, we were going, and someone was going 10 miles under. This is the same road. 10 miles under, flipping us off the entire way. The entire way. If you have the DA certification, this is the type of stuff that you do. So I've already mentioned the small townness, right? And not to mention, so I've already mentioned that it's a small town, right? Which means that all these issues are exacerbated. And the problem with being in a small town is that most of us don't even drive in the city, right? I mean, I've had my license, I think, for 5 years now, and my sister, who's, I don't know, about close to 2 years younger than me, is probably a better driver than me because she has gotten to drive in the city a lot more than me, right? The big cities. And, you know, I just don't do that because I don't go to the city, and if I do, usually someone else is driving me because guess who has the DA certification in the city? That'd be me. I have the DA certification, right? Because I don't drive in the city very often. I don't know, you know, those rules. I know, like, the normal rules of driving, but there's always, you know, expected, you know, habits and stuff in a city, right? Like in Florida, my girlfriend's told me, in Florida, that people just make up their own speed limits. You know, that's a rule in Florida, apparently, is you just make up your own speed limits. In Texas, I've heard that you just make your own lanes, right? So everyone has their own cultural thing. And the fact of the matter is that the culture of my small town is that if it is raining, right? I mentioned rain in the beginning of this video. If it is raining, every single issue that I just told you about gets fucking multiplied. Because for some reason, like, the DAs in this town also don't know how to drive in the rain, right? Most people in this town, like I said, they know how to drive in the rain because, you know, we freaking live in this state, and 50% of the time it's raining, right? And so usually what happens, right? The rain, it exacerbates the DAs. There's less turn signals because they're scared. They're scared of the rain, right? Literally, that's all it is. And it sucks. It's infuriating, right? Because I understand that, you know, you're gonna run into dumb drivers in your life. But it's the simple things. It's like the built-in habits, like using your turn signal. You know, theoretically, built-in habit. You know, especially when you're changing lanes, right? Built-in habit. Passing a semi-truck so that other people don't get stuck next to it. That's a little bit more complicated, but I think that should be a built-in habit. And by the way, all these people that are DAs Guess who's gonna teach their children to drive? In my state, if the rules haven't changed since I got my license, you gotta spend 50 hours in the car with a parent or close relative, right? They'll better have one person who's willing to drive with them. That ain't their freaking parent, because if these people are training their kids to drive, oh lord, it's just gonna be more DAs on the road. That guy just spawned inside a fire. Jesus. So, I mean, that's it for this video. That's my rant on dumb drivers in Washington State. Let me know what the dumb drivers do in your state, because I want to know. Or your country. Maybe you live in a different country. Maybe you live in England where, I don't know, everyone's actually good at driving except the taxi drivers who just know everything. Let me know in the comments below. I'm Pacific the Casual Gamer. I suck just as bad as you do at video games, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Then you